You can see what kind of morning it's been. 2 people here already. Let me get to the comments. Who's here? I gotta go turn that light off. Hang on a second. Hey, Beardo. It's been a rough morning. I woke up at like 3 o'clock this morning, and I was like, "Oh my guts! Oh my guts don't feel good." And I was like, "Oh no!" And I was telling Jared, I was like full on like Dumb and Dumber, like on the toilet, knees up off the floor, like, "Oh no!" Like I'm not even gonna use toilet paper. I'm just jumping in the shower, and I was like that until like 6, just in and out, in and out, in and out. Like, this is horrible. So I've had a couple showers already this morning. So woke my daughter up. When my daughter's alarm went off at 7, I told her, "Don't even bother getting up." So as you can see by the name, God damn it with that. Today I'm your host, Bubbly McBubbleguts. What's everybody got going on? What's everybody got in their pocket this morning? I mean, we kind of know what I'm going to have in my pocket first thing in the morning. Sorry, Bubbly. It's okay. I don't know if it's something I ate or there's a good chance that I do know what it is. Like I've said a bunch of times, I have an autoimmune disorder, and when it ramps up, it has a tendency to not like to stay in its swim lane. It doesn't attack just joints. Sometimes I'll get like the IBS, it's not ulcerative colitis. I get like my immune system starts fucking up my stomach. So Shopcat is on the footstool back here. Let's say good morning to Shopcat. Hey, buddy. Let's go say hi. Let's go say hi. Let's go say hi. Say hi to everybody. So we have discovered that this fella here is a big chicken. He is, aren't you? You're just a big chicken. He's scared. He likes being held. You're scared of the trash truck. You're scared of a red dot laser. You're scared of anything that moves real fast. My cat. Say hi. I love this cat. I really do. The dog's over here too. You want to go back in your chair? Here you go. Lay down. And there you are. With that big. Ooh. I like that that 1-2 Suns that you showed here the other day that had I just realized I don't have my hat. Oh well. We'll just do it hatless. No, I have a hat right here. It's just a dirt. You have a chair, but you want to sit on the footstool. He wants to sit on that footstool. So there we go. That I saw that one with the button lock. The button lock. The button lock one that you had with the really funky blade shape. That was a good looking knife. There you go, Jared. Somebody's got a question for you. I'm not going to publicize it too much, guys, right now, but I have been talking with a couple people about doing live feeds here, and I might do a few recorded interviews, like just me and Jared, or like me and if I can get Cutlery Lover to do it. He doesn't do live feeds, but I told him, I was like, well, I'm willing to record us talking like 20-minute, 30-minute, however long you would do it, just talking about knives and stuff like that. So we'll see how that is. I do know that Jeff is a very busy guy. So, but I was thinking about doing some of those and talked with Nick Shabazz. Nick says that he's cool with doing it. I'm trying to set it up. We'll see if I can get it set up. I'll let you guys know. And I want him to be able to let his subscribers know. We might do it this Saturday if I could swing it. If not, I want to try and do it on a Saturday. I don't want to do it on a Friday. Like I've thought about days that I could do it, but Saturday is the only one that does not overlap with Jared's live feeds. And it's like, I mean, YouTube's a big open space for a lot of people, but the fact is I don't want to step on anybody else's stuff. Like Jared already has a schedule set for Wednesdays, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? At 7:30, which is, I mean, I can still do it at 7:30 my time. It'd be at the end of yours. but I would like to, because I know Nick's a busy guy, and I don't. Oh my god, my stomach is all screwed up. I don't. Like I said, I don't so much think it's Wednesday and Saturday. Okay, maybe I will do it Friday. I'll see what Nick's schedule looks like. And like I said, even if I start at 7:30 my time, which would be a good time frame for me, that's like either at the end of your live feed or just coming up on it. You know what I mean? So, oh, my stomach. Like I said, I don't think it's anything I ate. I do have an autoimmune disorder. It doesn't like to stay in its own swim lane. And so pretty sure that that's what it is. My daughter is awake and trouncing about in the living room. So like I said, what's everybody got in their pockets? Like I said, typically this time in the morning, I'm carrying. I have not entered the phase of swapping out what I want to carry for what I have to carry. I honestly, I said it and somebody was like, oh, what a predicament to be in. But I have so many knives that I own that I want to carry. And I really can't, because I have things that I'm doing for review. Like this is what's going to be in my pocket all day today is the Sencut Actium, because I did the first impressions. I'm trying to get to the full review. I've got to shoot I don't know how much shooting I'm going to get done today. I don't feel good. Well, hello, Thomas. How are you? I don't really recall if you've been on my channel. Oh, I wanted to show you guys something. I wanted to show you a knife. Like if any of you guys own this knife and were willing to part with it for a period of time, I would love to have it on the channel. This has been one of those, share a screen. This has been one of those knives that I've always wanted to get a chance to see. And it is this one, the Cold Steel Black Rhino. If anyone has a Black Rhino, I would love to get to see one on the channel. That's one of those cold steels. I don't know why I'm pointing at it with and you guys can't see my mouse and cursor, but that is a knife that I've always really wanted to see. Nice. Is this one of your, I don't recognize the username. Is this one of the first live feeds you've been on? But like I said, I would love to get to handle one of the Black Rhinos. They're a discontinued model that I never really got to see. There's a couple other models I was going to pull up, but I just thought if anyone has one, I think about 4 or 5 now. 4 or 5 what? Oh, okay. 4 or 5 feeds. Okay. I just don't recognize the username. Wow, that charger port is getting hot. So there's only 2 ports. I have this carrying a Praxis and an Opnel number 8. I need to get a Praxis. I just got a text from Nick. He said that he's pretty busy, and that we're going to get it figured out. Same thing with Jim. Jim's got family in town, Jim Skelton. So maybe I'll talk to Jared. I know Jared's here. Maybe we'll figure something out. We can do a live feed on an off day when he's not doing a live feed. Bubbly McBubbleguts does not feel well today. Cool channel. Thank you very much. I don't see the new chats pop up like I do when I do it on my phone. They kind of scroll up and they're right in front of me. And now I'm watching here, or the comments are over here. So I apologize if I don't see your comments. I missed a couple. I never even saw the super chat that I got last night from, I got one from Aiden and I got one from someone else. I never even saw the second one. And I was like, oh, I feel bad. People were like, ding, ding, ding. And I was like, where? And I was trying to scroll through it. And I couldn't find it. There's so many flies. So many flies. My neighbor next door, I don't know what he puts in his trash can, but good God, there's a lot of flies around his trash can. Like he's cutting people up. I shouldn't say that, because what if it's true? And then now I've put it out there and he's watching a live feed and he goes, he knows. And then the next thing you know, you don't see me anymore. I'm really chancing it by drinking coffee. I'm really chancing it by drinking coffee because the fact is, like I said, come about 3 o'clock this morning, I was full on Dumb and Dumber, like knees up, feet off the floor, crying, like, oh my God, this is so bad. But I think we've reached a point where there's nothing left in me. And I took some Imodium. So if I start getting sleepy, because Imodium does make me very sleepy, I may have to end this. Jared says, I usually watch through 2 devices because of that. I had thought about it. I thought about putting it on the TV up here, but then I'd be distracted by the TV. And I don't have 2 screens. If it disappeared, that Reddit would be happy. Man, there's some hate on that. I went to look for it. I did not see the I didn't see the full like hate on Mike spot. I found stuff where people were talking about resharpening and anodizing, and they put up pictures of knives that I refinished for them. And I found where Bobby DeMarco put that. Sorry, I've got stones that are sitting in water that have been here for a couple days. They don't need to sit in that water any longer. I don't have anything. I've got things coming in for sharpening, but I don't have anything for sharpening right now. Nah, I don't. Here's the thing. The nice thing about this is I'm not burning up screen time on my phone doing this. This is a much better. I like this setup way better. The only thing I can't see is how many likes there are. So I can't tell you, hey, look, there's this many people and only this many likes. I'm going to rely on you guys for that. Beardo usually does it. Man, I got to get a new cushion for this. Could you guys hear that real loud? I didn't think about the fact I don't know where the microphone is on this, and I was just wiping my keyboard with a brush. He's like, what the fuck is he doing? It's at the top of the screen next to the eyeball. I don't think so. On this MacBook, I don't think it is. There's nothing up there. There's no anything around on the screen of these MacBook Pros. There is a very, very thin bezel, and I don't see any holes. I'm imagining it's down in here in the keyboard area somewhere. Morning, fellas. Appreciate that live while I'm sharpening. Are you sharpening, Mark? What are you sharpening? Oh, I had some stuff come in. Hang on a second. Let me go grab. I wanted to show you guys something cool that came in. I don't know if you got to see it when I did the live sharpening the other day. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So I have a customer named Daniel. He sent me a handful of knives. He sent me a handful of knives for sharpening, and he's like, hey, I'm going in for major surgery. I'm going to be down for like 4 weeks. He's like, I got plenty of other knives. If you want to do a video about any of those, that's fine. This is one of those, is this Franken knives? I can't remember how it's listed. Franken knives, it's a reblade for a Benchmade 940. I'm pretty impressed with this. This is some pretty good work. I like that a lot. Now, would I change my 940? I don't think. No, I can't. So the way mine's set up, Jared, I'll send you a picture sometime. There is nothing on there. There's no controls for the microphone external to that or anything. But this is nice and thin ground. I thought maybe there's a heat treat issue when I first did it. My sister just sent me something. Oh, but I do like this. And I think somebody said it's Franken knives. I'm going to try and get a hold of this guy. I want to talk to him about these because I want to have some information on it. Now, I will say Spidey hole again. And it's one of those situations where the size of my hands, I just can't do it. But if you're just going to thumb roll it out, it's great. He obviously did a pretty good job getting the dimensions correct. And some people are like, oh, well, there's blade play, so he didn't get that. I would hazard to guess it probably had blade play to begin with. That's just, how do you know you got a real Benchmade? Blade play, one of the axis springs breaks. That's how you know you got a real one. Uneven grind, inconsistent satin from one side to the other. That's how you know you got a real one. It's like how you Mick's gonna get mad when I say this. How do you know you got a real Strider? It's got lock stick. It's the only, like, if it doesn't have lock stick, it's probably not a real one. It's probably a counterfeit. I told Mick Strider. I was like, I said it in a video, and I told him when I talked to him, he goes, "Hey, the whole like you know how you got a counterfeit Strider," and I was like, "Oh, the lock stick thing." And he goes, "Yeah." He's like, "That's hilarious." And I was like, because I said it, I was like, in a video, and I was like, if a Chinese company got one of those, and they're like, that can't be right. That can't be right. If we were gonna, like, they would fix the lock stick before they made a counterfeit. We're like, that can't be right. We can't let it. No one's gonna buy these. They're gonna think they're fake. He was like, that's hilarious, because he knows it's true. I have a friend that is a knife dealer. He does stock. He definitely does stock Striders, and he said, "Well, I gotta go up to Escondido and talk with Mick." And I was like, "Why?" And he's, "Because I got a Strider that we had a customer open up, and we can't close it." And I was like, even with he's like, even with a wood stick, he's like, he's like, we broke several wood dowel rods. He's like, I was like, what about the electric tape around screwdriver trick? And he's like, no, we can't get it. And I was like, I was playing with it. I was like, oh my. He's like, you got really strong hands. You try. I was like, oh my God. Good thing Mick's right up the road. Dude took it out of the case. The unlocked case. So you look at it, and he thumb flipped it, and they couldn't. It was like, now it's a fixed blade. It flipped once. That was it. But I mean, the cool thing was, Mick is right up the road, and he definitely took care of the issue. I would love to try and get a hold of Mick and talk to him in a live feed, but he is very skittish about that. I know a lot of people try to ambush him and talk to him about, his military history and stuff like that. And I wouldn't do that. I mean, as much as I know that would be a draw and people would ask that question, why are there no comments? Your comments drive the direction of this live feed. Other than that, you get me just rambling. Folding fixed blade. Have you guys seen, so you're talking about folding fixed blade. How does he sell knives with so much lock stick? I handled a while ago. It wasn't super bad, but it was noticeable. Some people like Jared said, Jared does not mind a little bit of lock stick. He feels as though it feels like the lockup is better. I personally don't like any lock stick, because if you start getting lock stick, you're always going to have lock stick. If you buy a knife that starts with lock stick, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse over time. Sometimes the lock stick comes from the lock face being too polished. And the interface can be, it wasn't a Benchmade, it was a Strider. Oh, my guts are, dude, I was telling everybody, I woke up at like 3 o'clock this morning, and I just on the toilet, like just holding like knees up, just complete like Dumb and Dumber. It was so bad. But a lot of times what you can do, and it works really good on knives that have a really deep radius, like Striders, like some of the Ferrum Forge knives. If you start to get lock stick, which Ferrum Forge has a steel lock bar, so you very rarely see any lock stick. But if that interface on the that radius, if it's too polished and it's a deep one, what'll happen is that allows more smooth marriage of the titanium. Usually, this always happens with titaniums. It's so smooth that like it allows it to gull easier. So what you get is it's like this. And so if you take a piece of coarse sandpaper, not to realign it, you just scratch that up a little bit. So now what you've done is, as opposed to this where they're right up against each other, it's more like this, where those scratches are going to kind of allow, and it's going to prevent that from like sticking. It's kind of like the idea of carbonizing it, where you have a rough surface as opposed to the titanium. But what it does is if you don't want to carbonize it, which carbonizing the lock face does make it feel gritty. I've never been a fan of a carbonized lock face. it's just always been one of those things that I just don't really like a carbidized lock face. I would much rather see if I can just scratch that surface up a little bit and get rid of the lock stick. I like a Chris Reeves have sometimes, or like that Spartan. Yeah, just a little lock stick is fine. I don't mind that. And a lot of times, because of the way they heat treat their lock bars on the Chris Reeves Sebenzas, you shouldn't get too much deformation, and that's what you're getting. Like, and so when I say it's only going to get worse as that titanium deforms and flattens out, and there's more of it making contact with the steel, the worse that lock stick is going to be. Just the I don't do the liner. You don't want to do the titanium itself. You really don't, because titanium's so soft. You're going to wind up changing that lock bar interface. That area right there on the blade, that's the part I'm talking about. Just a piece of like 80 grit sandpaper. Just give it a quick, just put a couple like passes, like not to at all change the surface itself, that the angle. You don't want it like you're not trying to like sand it. You're just putting a couple of scratches on it if it's nice, if it's fairly polished, and that a lot of times can alleviate that, because what it does, it roughens up that surface. Instead of it being stuck like this, you get a little bit of where it's just only touching a little bit as opposed to touching like this, just to change that surface finish. So I would never mess with the actual lock bar itself. Always the steel part, never the titanium. Because it's just so easy. Sanding titanium is so much easier than sanding steel. It's so much easier to scratch that up and get it to a point where you've now changed the lock bar interface completely. Mustache hair in my mouth. I apologize. That was disgusting. So just one of those things. I didn't put a banner, guys. I didn't put a banner. Where's my... There we go. I forgot the complete waste of time and zero seriousness. I forgot to put that up there. Let's go back to comments. Is that your food or is that the coffee pot? Okay. If you want to call a Pop-Tart food, I mean, it's subjective, I guess.
I digest it, I chew it.
It made a poop. Oh, yeah, that's right. Here, let's do that. Summer sale. You know what? That would create a banner. Scroll across the bottom. Don't. How much do I have left? Oh, I have time. Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know if you guys are saying anything, but. There we go. That's a very good idea. Thank you very much. Let's go back to comments. Oh, there was 4 more. Cool. Did you like doing the Archangel? I have 2 Bally's I can see. I'm not so much into doing Bally's on the channel, because the fact is Bally's are in that weird thing where I'm afraid that Bally's are in that weird realm where they would be considered something that would be kind of not really acceptable on YouTube. I've done a few. I just don't want to get into a situation where what is this? Beard, is it? No, that's not what I was trying to. Sorry. Beard, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I've done Bally's. I've done a bunch of Bally's that Matthew had. He has some really, really nice ones. Yeah, I mean, I'd do them. Who are my favorite custom makers? That's a really good question. Favorite custom makers? Mayo, of course. Tom Mayo. Bill Rupel. Bill Rupel is a really, really good custom maker. He makes slip joints, some of the most gorgeous handmade slip joints. I see Bill at all the knife shows. He's a great, great, great old dude. I love that guy. I always have to stop by and talk to him. I'm trying to think who else. There's a couple other guys that are like custom makers that I really did. ADV, Andrew DeVillers, when he makes customs, but the problem is sometimes it's hard to figure out whether it's a custom or mid tech, because I mean, just the quality is, he is such a stickler about the quality of everything that like it honestly is hard to tell the difference between a mid tech or a custom or any of that stuff. Like, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing to have that kind of like, I want the quality to be at this point that like you could compare one of the mid techs to one of the customs and have a hard time. That just sets it out, separate. Greg Gutfield, we've talked about this. I don't really know many actual small makers. I don't know. You've asked me the same question like 8 times. I tell you the same thing every time. I don't really have like small makers that are custom, because like I don't know what small makers are out there these days. I haven't been to a knife show in almost 2 years. So like small makers, I mean, some of these guys that we think are small makers really aren't. You'll see names that come out and it seems like Asher Knives, even though he's not making them himself, I think that he's a small knife. Alien, that even though like I said, that DX2 just, it didn't fit my hand the way I would want it to. So for me, it wasn't great, but if that's what you're talking about, great quality, intelligent design, just not something I could carry. And I think that's a lot like that. Touch knives. Yeah. Touch knives. I forgot. I didn't even think about Will and Eric, but like, I don't think of them as small makers. They're small quantity makers, but they're not small names in the knife community. That's what we're talking about. Like you're talking Will and Eric Touch. Yeah, you guys do. That was the whole point of putting up super chats and memberships. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks for bringing that up. But like I said, so you're saying touch knives. We were talking about small makers that aren't big names. See, this was the original question. What are your favorite small, not big names in the knife world? Touch knives are definitely not a small name in the knife world. Like if you know anything about custom knives, yeah, there you go. There's another one. Alex Steingraber. That's a good one. Alex does a lot of really good fixed blade. As a matter of fact, I'm in a group chat with Alex and Jacob Creates. There's another one, Jacob Ginsberg's Jake Ginsberg Knives, and everybody's like, "Well, you screwed up. It's like Jakeb," and no, that's how you spell his name. Everybody thinks it's Jake B. No, it's Jacob, Jakeb. That's how his name is spelled, Jacob Ginsberg. People are like, "Oh, it's Jake B," and I'm like, "No, it's not. It's Jake G. It's Jacob G, if you really want to get into it." So, the thing about getting the Asher Nomad, I would recommend I know Jared said there's a titanium version out now. I don't know how I would feel about that. I liked the steel frame lock version, but the one I liked even better was the 2.0, which was the G10 and the G10 with the Axis lock version. That was a much better version of it. I thought I liked it. It was a little thicker, felt a little bit more comfortable. Action on it was a little bit better. It didn't need an added sharpening choil. It was pretty much, it came that way pretty well. It's a good knife. I pulled it out the other day and I was like, I should put this back in my pocket. I was like, no, so many other things you've got to carry, which, like I said, we reached that point in the morning where the knife that I'm going to have to carry for the day is on the workbench. The knife I want to carry was on my bedstand, which yesterday was, I think it's still down here. No, it went back up. So I'm gonna let you guys know giveaway items. Again, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna probably film the giveaway. There's the one that was in my. No, it's not. Giveaway items are going to be the Myalia and the CJRB Crag. So now this is for not just the premium tier, guys. This one is for the not just looking baseline and premium tier members. So I know there are people that are like, what about the just looking? What about the just looking? It's like, it's in the tiers. Like the only thing that the just looking tier gets is early access to the videos. And, I have to kind of stick to that because the guys that are paying $14 a month and like $6 a month, like $15 a month and I can't remember how it's like $9 a month. I can't remember how I set those tiers up. I should look that up. But those tiers, those guys, that was part of the original thing that I started, that those tiers get those benefits. So yeah, the access lock, that's the way to go with that one. Pound the like button for spelling lessons, fellas. Yeah. Pound the like button for Shopcat. I have them both out here. I got dog and the Shopcat. If you like for Liz, that's if you guys have ever watched Dope or Nope, like for Liz, they would say that all the times. Drop a like. Shop dog too. That's not shop dog. That dog's just dog. My coffee has gotten cold. Be careful with the giveaways. I might win again. Hey, no joke. I'll take you to Vegas with me. So last night somebody asked me and it was dark, so you couldn't see it real good. Gotta head out. We'll talk later. Later, Jared. So what I was telling you guys earlier, Shopcat is a big chicken shit. I was playing with a red dot laser and like the dog looked at it, was chasing it. A couple of the other cats were like, what is that? Like curious. Shopcat, big cat, big. Looks like it's a monster of a cat. Terrified. Like, oh God. Ran around and like he could see it on the floor and I shined it on his foot and he was like, nope. I don't think that cat has got a hunting instinct in his body. I don't think he really does. Like he doesn't play. You can, if you really want to get him going, you can scratch. If he's sitting on that chair, you can scratch the underside of the chair and he'll get to start to like try to figure out what it is, but he doesn't play like other cats do. He just wants to cuddle. That's the sign of a cat that has been terrorized by children. I don't think so because like you would think like if he would be like a cat, usually a cat that's been terrified by children is like a cat that would be aggressive towards children. Not. He loves to just hop up in my daughter's lap. He loves to be loved. He likes being in here and he's got really pink toe beans. The dog wants to play with that cat so bad. Now the cat will swat the dog if the dog gets too close. Like they haven't, like they can tolerate being close to each other. As long as, and the cat will walk right by the dog. But as long as the dog doesn't make any sudden moves, we're good. As long as the dog's not making sudden moves, we're good. Shopcat was built for love, not for war. Like me these days. I'm built for comfort, not for speed. If you see me running, there's probably a good goddamn reason. I don't agree. I've seen cats that just don't. We've got the one cat. I want to call it Elsa. That looks like the Disney princess. It really does. It looks like it looks like a cat if it was drawn by Disney. What's up? Knuckles, that's not Knuckles. Knuckles is the one that has extra toes, and it looks like he's wearing mittens. I thought about calling him Tyson because it looks like he's wearing boxing gloves, but nah, Knuckles is better. Good morning, sir. Did you see I responded to your text or your DM? Okay, most cats. That cat, the one that we call Elsa, does not want to have anything to do with anybody. And even when I'm feeding and like she's coming over while I'm putting food in the bowl, is looking at me going, I'm like, you came to me. Don't hiss at me. I'm trying to feed you. I've thought about just throwing some food at it. There you go. Fuck you. I gotta watch it. I don't want to demonetize this live feed. They demonetized my one from last night. I think the stories I told last night were a little bit much for a monetized live feed. So the only thing I got of that was I think Aiden, that dropped some super chat. That's the only thing I got out of that live feed. But that live feed was fun. That's why. What's up, man? You said SY and I was right there. I was gonna just type in MP. I don't know. What are we doing here? Japanese. My internet is poo-poo. That kind of goes along with your host for today, Bubbly McBubbleguts. I'm gonna keep doing that. Did I already delete it? I didn't delete anything. I didn't. No, it got demonetized and I didn't contest it. It showed up and it was like limited to no ad revenue. And I was like, because it had the little yellow thing. And so what I did was I didn't contest it and I hit okay. And so it's demonetized. It won't make any money. I think I dropped too many F-bombs in that one. That happens. It's not the first time. Oh, hey, I usually use a sharpening system for my EDC knives, but I'm considering a good bench type water stone. What you would recommend as a really good setup? I'll explain that in a second, AJ. I recommend if you're getting into freehand sharpening, not to break the bank. I have a list of, if you go into the description tab, in the description of the video below, I have built an affiliate link setup of things that I recommend, or stones that I recommend. So there's basic and advanced. And so the basic stones are just like stones that get you like 6,000. So that list down there would get you some stones that are decent to use. That way you're not spending a lot of money on stones that you might chip and screw up and things like that, but also are decent enough you can get really good edge. And like I said, you're not breaking the bank. Just keep in mind with the water stones I have down below, I don't have a resurfacing stone listed. I will try and get that put in the descriptions, but what you want to get is you want to get a lapping stone for your water stones. What didn't go as planned? No, I almost pooped myself this morning. This morning has not went as planned. We didn't even go to the gym. I woke up, and that's why I'm your host, Bubbly McBubbleguts. I've been on the toilet since like 3 o'clock this morning. At about 7:45, I was like, okay, I think I'm good. I don't think there's anything else in me. Have I ever looked at Nanohone? No, I haven't. I've got stones. I already have the stones that I like. I don't want to continue adding more things. I basically have, like, these are the stones I need to do what I do and to get the edges I want. I don't like, I think I'm at a point where I don't want to go any further. I think I don't want to go any further with the continuing to try new stones. I found what works. I'll stick with it until somebody can tell me that something that is great. Like, I would like to see the some of the stones that Big Brown Bear has, those vitrified diamond. Those seem amazing. I just can't right now. I just can't justify the price when these stones are affordable and work really well. What I missed, got a call from my brother. You didn't miss anything. How is OS 10? I haven't really I haven't really done much with OS 10, but from what I understand, it's pretty good. OS 8, if done heat treated, pretty well. And 8CR is not great, but 154CM is not a horrible steel. So what was I supposed to tell AJ? I was supposed to yellow dollar sign. Oh, okay. So you hear me see yellow dollar sign. If you have a YouTube channel and your channel is monetized, as you scroll down your list of videos, you'll see the monetization mark. And if there's a yellow one, that means that YouTube has flagged that as not advertiser friendly. And you can try and contest it, but I know the stories that we told last night on that live feed. So I'm like, I don't think they'd monetize it for me. So oh, is there? I don't know if anyone knows, but there's a Q Suite giveaway on the We Knives YouTube channel. I'm going to have to go look at that. I am going to have to go look at that. I have never gotten to see one of those, Aiden. I have never seen a single one. It's like Asher Knives. I've kind of heard about them, but I've never seen one. I could see that. Nick. They're close together. Especially if you type like me, when you're getting ready to write something, it's like, and you need the cue, you're like, where in the, I know there's a cue on this keyboard. I'm not even going to get into the whole thing. Like, I've seen some of the ads that wind up on YouTube channels, and I'm like, that's way worse than any of my content. Some of the ads are way more offensive and things like that. And just to kind of point it out to you, like, my channel gets videos demonetized all the time, and I can't list my content as child friendly. There is a child friendly channel out there that's called Dick or Dildo. It's still listed as kid friendly. Go look it up. If you think I'm kidding, there's a channel called Dick or Dildo, and all it is a guy and his partner, and they shove a thing in his bum, and he has to guess which it is. That's still child friendly. So, do you remember ATS? Yeah, I talked about this the other day, Thomas. I talked about it the other day in a live feed. We were talking about fixed blade knives. It's right here. I have a knife here. Hang on, I'll find it. It's right here. This Morgan custom fixed blade is in ATS 34 steel. So, why? Because I just shuffled through one day and I was watching a video that somebody else had put up, and they were talking about it, like the complete absurdity of the channel platform and how it gets done. And I've never watched it. I'm just saying it was a stupid night at work, drinking JMO right now and about to enjoy some breakfast and knife talk. Well, you got about 20 minutes or so of it left there, Winston. You work nights? Yeah, it's drinking JMO in the morning. Seems logical asking never what? Never what? I don't know. Guys, it's telling me my Wi-Fi connection is unstable. That's the description that they gave. No, and I can't remember which one of the channels that was talking about it was. I think it might have been Louder with Crowder. It might have been Steven Crowder, and he gave it a pretty good description of what happens on that channel. I believe that's where I heard it, either there or one of the other channels that is the more political stuff. Because I watch on both sides of it just to make sure I can make an informed. Because if you just watch one side, you're never gonna find out. What was this? Oh no. But the whole COPA disaster where YouTube hasn't allowed to target ads to children, so now it can't be too child friendly. Too offensive. I don't want kids watching my channel anyway. I watch the Hodge twins. I watch both sides. I try to watch channels that are on both sides of the political spectrum just so I can see, because I don't trust the left doesn't mean I trust the right either, if you know what I mean. I think that's about the only way. Have I ever met? Yes, I've talked with Mick. Mick watches my videos. Every time I say something, he has a very good sense of humor about it. I said one time, I was telling these guys, I told Mick, heard the comment I made. I was like, how you got a fake Strider? There's no lock stick, because no Chinese company would get a Strider and think that it's like, that can't be right. That can't be right. They'll know it's a knockoff. We have to get rid of this lock stick. And he was like, I saw him, he goes, the lock stick video. I was like, yeah. And he goes, fuck you. I was like, all right, that's good. There you go. Aiden, ding, ding, ding. Where's my, can't do this with a, don't ever do that with a ZT. Proud American, but I'm to either political party. Did you almost fall? Nope, that was a dog. Thank you very much, Aiden. Guys, that's still an option if you want to support the channel. I want to get it to where I'm like Jared's, where you just see him like scrolling up. You know who it makes me sick when I see it, and doesn't make me sick. I'm like I know how much actual like membership money some of these guys that have millions of subscribers get. I know they already get all this membership and Patreon money and ad revenue and all this stuff. But then you'll watch one of his live feeds and you see super chats just scrolling up. And you're like, that guy just made like $800. Like $800 just rolling up. And I'm like, what? How do I get there? How do I get there? I was kidding, guys. Don't want you guys. Okay, here we go. I just saw this is probably a terrible question. And I'm like, all right, we'll put it up on the screen. It's probably a terrible question. But can you, or is there a way to de-assist the Kershaw link? Yes, there actually is. It's very easy, actually. A lot of the Kershaws with that speed safe, the Ken Onion speed safe, actually come with directions on how to de-assist it. It's just a single spring. So as long as it's a liner lock or frame lock or something like that, absolutely you can do that. Now, if it's one of the ones that just is the detent and the spring is what holds it in, then no, you cannot. If you know of VTubers, they make the most cash on YouTube. For what are VTubers? What are VTubers? And he says, and they make hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Well, I know that, like, I watch Tim Pool's podcasts every once in a while, and I mean the Timcast news and things like that, because as much as people like say he's far right, he's not. He's fairly centrist, and he has a lot of opinions that get put on that are on the fence-ish, and you can get a lot of good information there. I'm not saying I take anything he says to the bank. I'm just saying it's just one of those channels that I watch, and so I know that he gets a lot of revenue and stuff like that. So I know he's making a lot of money, but I don't know what VTubers are. Oh, those with the they're like the digital version of furries, and I hate them too. I usually just don't like most things. And I was like, what is your main goal? I just want to be happy and drink coffee. What is my main goal? Well, I'd like to see his channel become financially viable. Guys, there's more people here. I'm going to bring this back up again just to remind you guys. I would like to hang on a second. I have to share this for you. We're going to share a screen. Chrome tab. If any of you happen to have this knife, the Cold Steel Black Rhino, if any of you happen to have this knife and you're willing to let me borrow it, I will gladly hold on to it for a while and do a video that does it justice. I've always wanted to get to see the Black Rhino from Cold Steel. So if you guys have it or know of someone that has one, that would be freaking awesome if I could get one on the channel. It's funny on it. I don't want to be too beat. You're going to get that, brother. Don't worry. I know, but the fact is, like, I just, it's frustrating because here's one of the things. Like, I can't show you my. Is that a high-end CS? I don't know if they were considered high-end, but what I was saying, Nick, is it's frustrating because as I watch certain things go up, then I watch other things drop. It's like YouTube is playing the algorithm just to keep me exactly where I'm at. It's like, so as I get more views, the ad revenue per video goes down, and they just basically lock me in. Like, I'm locked in at this, like, this is the amount you're going to get, period. That's it. The only thing that has really had an impact on it has been the super chats that some people are throwing in. Like, I haven't seen him hop in on a live feed yet, but Ivan hopped in on one and donated like he gave me $100 super chat. And that definitely has affected it. But like, Nick Shabazz is not a VTuber. He's not a VTuber. He just wears a mask. He just likes his privacy. Does the Rhino beat your favorite Pendleton Hunter? I don't know. I've never gotten to see one. I have the Pendleton Custom Classic from Cold Steel, and it's a great knife, but I honestly can't say. I've never gotten to see the Black Rhino, so I don't know. Here's a good question. 80-15 or 80-20 are the best Cold Steels that are, that wasn't a question. I don't like the 80-15. I didn't like the Scorpion Lock. Now, is it a good knife? Yes. Is it a knife that has some serious fidgetability? Yes, but I actually liked the 80-20 Shark Lock better. I've seen the 80-20.5, which is the smaller version with the Efron scales. I did not like that. I didn't like the smaller version. It has nothing to do with the FRN scales or anything. It's still a good knife. And I mean, I guarantee that Andrew has made sure that is being done the way he wants it. But I just I like the big one that Jared sent me. It was great. What was this? I've been spreading the word of the channel in every live I'm in as much as I can and help. Yeah, no, I mean, and like I said, sharing the videos is one of the best things you can do. If everybody that watches it, all 21 of you, share any of the videos with someone else, then it helps because other people see it and then share it as well. Did you ever see the 80-10? No, I have not ever seen an 80-10. Oh, we're almost at an hour. Gonna dye yours navy blue. Is it like do you have neutral G10? Is that what yours was, or FRN? I don't know. It's FRN or. Well, thank you, Nick. Okay, let's do this one here. Thoughts on quiet carry knives. I liked there was one of the quiet carries. I mean, they're not bad knives. I like the knives. I didn't like the drift. They're great knives. They're just, like I said before, some knives that just aren't for me. And that's the way it is for everyone. As much as I can appreciate that it is a really well-made knife and all those things, it's just not a knife that I would carry. But there is one of the quiet carries, and it's not the drift. I think it's the one they're giving away right now. I think they're doing a giveaway of the knife that I liked. I can't remember the name of it though. It's a really, really nice knife. It came out not long ago. Nick Shabazz had one on his channel and he gave it a glowing review. I really liked it. I had a friend that had one. I was going to try and borrow it from him, but every time this guy was weird. Like, he kept telling me, he's like, oh yeah, I'll put you up, borrow it. And I was like, well, all right, cool. Give it to me and I'll have it for the weekend. He's like, oh no, I can't give it to you right now. And I'm like, that's what you said every time. Yeah, the waypoint. There you go. The waypoint. I like that. And I was like, dude, you keep telling me you're gonna let me borrow, and I'm willing to sharpen it for you as payment. And he was like, yo, I'll give it to you sometime. I'm like, well, great. You know what? I'm just gonna get one from somebody else. So if anybody has a waypoint they want to send me so I can put it on the channel, that would be great. You can dye the Grivory down to a, let me see here, the gray Grivory down to a navy blue. That'd be cool. I always liked the black. It's cool they used LC200N for the liner. I do know my buddy's got Lockrock, and he tried to blame it on the design. He goes, oh, I'm going to send this back. These guys, you know, you're disappointing me here. And I was like, but this guy was one of those guys that just flips and 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 wrist flicks. And I'm like, well, you know, any knife that you do that with is going to get Lockrock. If you guys notice, I don't fidget with my knives, because I know that every time now, like something like a button lock, yeah, you could probably get away with this a lot easier. But like there's impact there, and eventually that's going to deform, and you're wearing your knife out prematurely. I have a tendency to flick this one more often than I should, but I do know that I can just reach out to John. They're like, hey, John, the Lockrock's my bigger stop pin. I'll measure this one. And I know I can get a replacement oversized stop pin for this. So, you know, that's a lot different than, say, that's one of the differences. Like, that's one of the big differences between a premium quality knife and like this. If this gets Lockrock at the price point, I'm like, you know, if it gets Lockrock, it's just going to have Lockrock because I've deformed the stop pin or the pocket that the stop pin sits in. So, you know, I've either deformed the steel here or I've deformed the stop pin itself where they marry up. So, you know, I can't expect to reach out to Civivi and say, hey, I need an oversized stop pin. I'm going to measure it for you. Just, you can send me a new one. You can't do that with a $50 price range knife. This knife, if I contact John and I'm like, hey, I got a little bit of Lockrock. I think I need an oversized stop pin. I tried turning, what I'll do is I'll mark the face of the stop pin and I'll try and turn it and make sure that I'm turning that so I get a fresh face. A lot of times you can avoid that because now you've redimensioned. But if what has happened is that the blade itself, where it meets up, has deformed as well, you're just going to have to oversize stop pin it. And the nice thing about this is I don't have to send this to John because he uses a double stop pin system. So that eliminates having to reset the closed position. Oh no. But, you know, that's one of the big differences. And I'm going to do a video about that. You know, as far as the quality of build, are these knives really that far apart? The materials, the amount of time that went into the milling pattern, the finishing and all those things. Yeah, kind of. But really, the big difference between this is longevity. A $50 knife is not going to last as long as a $1,000 knife or an $800 knife or a $400 knife or a $600 knife. It's just one of those things. So Aiden said he buffered. I didn't buffer for anyone, right? It was him, not me, because I have been having internet connectivity issues. And I might start doing some of these in different parts, like in the living room and things like that, you know, just for fun, just for gets and shiggles. That is one of the bigger differences, is the support you get. You can get some support from like Civivi and we will, they'll give you some support. You need a new lock, you need a new, Come on, do it in English, Mike. Get all the words out. If you need like a new pocket clip or you lost a screw or something like that, they're going to help you out. But as far as like to go to the trouble of repairing a knife that has just out of wear and tear that you're going to get on a knife, they're not going to support that. It's not their fault that your knife wore out. You bought a $40 knife. You can't expect them to support a lot of things. And so I want to talk with Russell. I'm going to try and get Russell in on live feed. I don't look like I can get Nick. I might be able to get Russell in. We'll see if we can do a live feed Friday night with Russell from Artisan Cutlery. I know he probably won't have a problem with it. I'll talk to him here today and see if we can get it set up and we'll publicize it. But some of the things that happen in the knife world, like people thinking that like, oh, I bought this knife and you need to do this and you need to do that. Well, like you bought it. As nice as that Rhea is, that's not a that's not a knife that you're going to expect someone to, oh, I bought this knife and I want it refurbished. You're not sending it in for a spa treatment. Like if you get a Chris Reeve knife, you send it in for a spa treatment and they'll refinish it. They'll clean the blade. They'll reblade a knife for you. All those things that they offer. Grimsmo do kind of the same thing. I lost my pocket clip broke. I caught it on something, and if you get a hold of them, it probably gets you to make you a new pocket clip. So just those little things. I have not been on Everyday Carries podcast, but I'm gonna start reaching out to other YouTubers and seeing if they want to be on my channel. I was thinking about reaching out to OCD for EDC and see if he wanted to come on. Now there are some, like I've heard stories of people like, hey, I got a problem with my Rhea, and Artisan just replaced the knife outright. They will do that. But like, if you've carried a knife, the whole thing is like, if you get a knife and there's a problem with it, they're going to honor that warranty. But if you're buying a knife and you've carried it, like say I carry this knife for the next 3 years, and then I notice it's starting to have problems, is We Knife Company or Civivi or Sencut, are they going to be responsible for the wear and tear I've put on that knife? No, that doesn't fall under the warranty. The warranty, if you read it, is defects in manufacturership or materials. So when you first get the knife, there's an issue with it. That's when you can use that warranty. You know what I mean? Now there are companies like you want a knife that Aaron Frederick will say, if you did it to your knife, I'll cover it. And I'm like, wow, that's a bold statement. Like you break a blade off, Aaron will honor that warranty and put a new blade in it for you. EDCC gets you. Yeah, that's fine. Logical. I would love that. I would love to be either on his or he can be on mine. That would be great. The garbage game. That sounds fun. I like that. Oh, cat's scared again. Let's see it happen. Because he got up. Is he gonna wake up for it? Let's see what happens with Shop Cat. Does not like the trash truck. See? He don't like it. He's not digging it. Told you. He does not like the trash truck. Oh, Everyday City Carry. Yeah, no, that would be cool. I would love to do that. I did the Knife Junkie podcast, and I was going to ask Bobby if he wanted to be on my channel. Now, I'm having to warn all these people. Like Nick Shabazz was like, "Well, what are we going to talk about?" And I was like, "Nick, have you ever watched one of my live feeds?" Oh, it's a shit show, Nick. Who knows what we're going to talk about? But when we talk with Nick, we're going to have to. There are going to be things. But I thought it would be fun if we do it. If he can let me know a time frame, we'll get it set up. He can let his people. Oh, ding, 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 ding. Thank you, Aiden. Shop Cat's a gold mine. Scaredy cat, Shop Cat. Scaredy Shopcat. There you go. I forgot to do it. I forgot to click it. But yeah, we were talking about. No, my internet's garbage. Okay. Talk about the Slish Buoy with Nick. Well, maybe he can. Maybe I'll do the Steven Crowder thing. Put up the Slish Buoy is garbage. Change my mind. That's what I should do, and that should be, guys. Look at the bubble. I am running a summer sale. I don't like the Slish Buoy. I didn't like it before. Now I could possibly be swayed to maybe, and now I'm not going to say it's not a quality knife. It was a very well-made knife. It just was not a knife I liked. It's another one of those things. Can I admit that Spyderco did a very, very good job with that knife? Yeah. They did a really good job with that knife. I was happy and disappointed. I was happy that they did that knife at a quality level that was well above what they were doing with other things at the time. For a Spyderco, incredibly nice Spyderco. Well done. I really didn't see anything fit and finish, action, flaws. Now, that being said, it's too bad that they put that much effort in on that knife. Because I'm telling you, the only reason they ever sold those knives is because Nick Shabazz talked about them on his YouTube channel. That's the only thing I can think about. Guys, before I forget, I do have a video that's going up at 4 p.m. today and 4 p.m. tomorrow. I cannot promise we're going to have 5 videos next week because I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to film stuff. We got stuff going on. So we are trying to plan a trip back to Japan for my wife and kid, but I don't know if that's going to work out. So it's really hard. But just wanted to say there will be a video today and tomorrow. I have them all set up. The one for today is premiering. I can't remember what it is. I do believe it is the first impressions on the Sencut that I've been carrying this week. And Jared's not wrong. This is a pretty good knife. I have 2 videos. I'm going to try and shoot 2 videos today and 2 videos tomorrow. And then that would leave me all week next week to film like 5 or 6 more videos. I do not see how Metal Complex keeps up with his, like, I know it's his full-time thing, but I do not know how he keeps up with that. Lives, I'm not going. I can't go. I can't go. My doctor won't let me go back to work. What makes you think he's going to let me go to Japan? I would love to go back, but there's no chance I'm going to. But what it looks like is they're probably not going to be able to go back to like wintertime, like around Christmas, which sucks because I like having a family here for the holidays. No, but I mean, basically what Richard's done is he's turned YouTube into his business. That's his only job. Now I do know his wife works and stuff like that. How do I like the 4MAX Scout? I liked the 4MAX Scout. It was a pretty good knife, Max. I'm not gonna lie, I could have filmed much more yesterday. I think that this whole thing with my stomach, my immune system is starting to act up. And so I've been noticing that I'm like really sleepy at the end of the day. And when your immune system, Nick, Mr. Martino here can tell you if you have an autoimmune disorder, and you can tell when your immune system spikes because you just generally feel shitty. You just want to I'm worn out. I just want to lay down. And one of the symptoms that I can see when my immune system starts to spike and get out of control, even though I'm on my immunosuppressors, everything hurts. Definitely, I feel tired and run down. And then I start noticing like gastrointestinal issues, joint issues. My hands hurt, my wrists hurt. Sometimes my skin will bother me. Hello, Shop Cat. Have you returned? So yeah, and I mean, I've been having the hand, like my hands were hurting. I haven't used the rowing machine. When we did go to the gym, I just be using the elliptical because my wrists and hands hurt all day after I do it. I'm like, oh, I guess, yeah, you can't control it. And people are like, well, don't you have medicine? I'm like, yeah, I have medicine, but you can't control something that's completely out of control. It's like trying to stop a freight train with spaghetti. Can't do it. you guys want to run this for an hour and a half or so? I like doing these. I'll tell you one of the big benefits of doing the live feeds, besides the fact that I can do things like this. And I can run the banner across the bottom, and I can have pins. I can bring people in. One of the best benefits is the app. When I do live feeds on my phone, if I do an hour-long live feed, if I do it 2 days in a row, I have to delete the app because there winds up being so much data stored on my phone from the YouTube app. Oh, holy crap. Look, Kurt. Kurt. Thank you very much, sir. But it's seems gym would be a risky move, sir. What do you mean gym would be a risky move? And my immune system's over the top. Like there's a much greater chance that I'm not going to get sick than I will get sick, even though I take immunosuppression, especially when my immune system is spiked. I'm immune to everything. Thanks again, Kurt. Dave, just got you keep going. Just got on. Yeah, I'll keep it going for a little bit. 2A Dave, you know what you should do. You should go follow me on full30.com. Just go over to full30.com and look up Crazy Sharp. Follow my channel. I'm going to try to do some pew content over there. The foot doesn't help either. No, my toes feeling a lot better. Looks like the breaking news. I was kind of going for that. This is your tickler at the bottom, and then I'm your host, Bubbly McBubbleguts. So, but like I was saying, this for some reason the YouTube app uses up an immense amount of storage on your phone for some reason. Like when I do a live feed, if I do 2 live feeds 2 days in a row, I have to delete the YouTube app because I'll have 18 to 20 gigabytes of data that it's using up on my phone. And I'm like, holy crap. Have I tried green coffee beans? I absolutely have. I had a guy that was a customer, and he sent me several packs, and I think I still have one thing of the beans. He roasted his own beans at home, sent me green coffee ground beans. No, I don't think it's what it is. I think it accidentally, like, I think it's something in the coding that it stores the entire feed on the phone and uploads it to YouTube, but then hang on. My daughter's on the phone with her friends. No, I forget. So I just think I think it saves that data and then doesn't erase it like it's supposed to at the end of the feed because it's uploading that. So you do it from your phone. I think it stores it on your phone and then it uploads the HD copy. This goes directly to YouTube. There is no buffering there. And once I'm done, I'm done. On here, I get this long waiting while it's sending all this stuff. So when I do a live feed from my phone, it definitely screws with my storage on here. Just realized okay. So Nick told me next few weeks are getting busier for me. Maybe it's better if I hop on later. So we'll just have to figure a time. So Beardo. How much would it be for the ADV? I mean, ask me about my summer price. $25 a knife. To any grit. This would not fall out of the realm. This is not a Tonto. It's not a recurve. This is just simply ground different in 2 different spaces. It's not any big deal. I wouldn't say that this really doesn't need sharpening unless you want me to just fix the little hiccup at the very tip where it looks like you did not apex it all the way up. So, I mean, but I wouldn't sharpen it. It doesn't need sharpened. Sharpening is a functional thing. This does not. This is sharp. Now, if I will tell you, if I wind up using this knife, I probably will touch it up for you and make sure it gets honed. I'm not feeling any reasons why it would need sharpened. I really am not. I did cut a little bit with it, and it cuts really well. And that's a very aggressive edge you've put on that. So it's not that expensive. So, I think I told you guys about the incident with my laser sight for my SIG. which I did not. Oh, there's the thing. Eric Mora, I need you to get in touch with me as soon as possible. I have not checked. Allow me to check the comments and see if he's commented back, but I definitely need to get him to get in touch with me because he won the custom Kiradashi that I made for the giveaway. Let me check the comments section and see. Not yet. I have not gotten a notification yet. Let's check the actual. I'm just looking to see. I'm just looking to see if I got contacted by either of the winners yesterday. This has been a running thing, guys. I'm going to do these giveaways, but I'm not going to keep these items around forever. I'm just going to give them, like, I'm not going to hold on to them until these people get in touch with me. Last month, there was a guy named Chris that won this knife. He has not gotten in touch with me. So this goes back up for everyone this month. This is going to be the August giveaway. This is for the premium and baseline tiers on my YouTube channel for members. And this is for everyone else. All you have to do is drop a comment. I'm going to try and shoot that video this morning and probably have it up today along with the 4 p.m. giveaway. So you're actually going to get 2 videos and a live feed today. And if I get a wild hair at my backside, I might do another live feed this evening. It seems like you guys like the live feeds. It does definitely get it gets new people to the channel. So that's the whole point. Like, you don't get money per membership, you get money for views, but the more exposure you get. Ooh, pick me. You might wind up winning. You got picked twice in a row. I don't allow people to win twice. So like this time, if Eric gets picked, I'll drop Eric and I'll just pick another winner. So that's just how that works. I'm now following you on Full30. I've done a couple things. The whole thing is, as much as I like the idea of Full30.com, and I appreciate the guys that follow me over there, and I do have tips and I have channel memberships and things over there as well. I don't, like I told the guys, they're like, well, you haven't been putting up much content here. And I'm like, well, I'm going to, like, I have a bunch of stuff that's already went up on my channel. I'll answer that in a second, Nick. So like, it's really hard for me to justify doing exclusive content on there when I'm getting paid to do content here, if that makes sense. Like, YouTube has made it really easy. I've got like paying members. I got like 30 of them, like Beard of the Weirdo. You can see, like, when I show, like, you can see he's got, I don't know why it doesn't show up, but when he's in the actual, when you see the actual comments, he should have his cross swords thing. I don't know why those don't translate over, but he has a thing that looks like the branding up in this corner. It's so hard to do this reverse there, that one. But I can't, it's so hard to justify spending the time to shoot a video and edit it. And then the upload going to, cause it's a new platform, uploading to Full30.com is way, way, way more difficult than it is here. There's so many steps. Like here, everything's set. I just leave the browser open while it's loading, while it's uploading the video, and I'm done. Full30, I have to monitor the upload, and I have to switch between upload to processing. And then from processing, then I have to enter the title, and then I have to edit the description. Then I have to pick the thumbnail, and then I have to do all this, and I can't do any of those from my phone. So I'm stuck to my computer until it's all done. And then even when that's all done, then I have to pick to publish it to the site. And I'm like, it's so hard for me to justify taking that time just to do a video specifically for a platform that I'm not making any money on. But the flip side of it is, if I don't make any content for that channel, I won't ever start making money on it. So, you know, it's like, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Which SIG Pew Pew models do I prefer? Nothing in 9mm. I do not like 9mm at all. I own 0 9mm. If it doesn't start with a 4, it's not enough bore. So I actually like my 2022 in 40 Smith & Wesson, and that's about the only SIG There's some other ones. I like their 1911 models, but we're not going to talk about that here because that's something we would have to talk about like on Instagram or something like that, because you can't go too far into the whole pew pew thing on here. So other than that, what hobbies am I into, Mike? I do like to play video games. You guys know I like to play video games. You guys have seen that I do have a Twitch stream. I like to play video games, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, me too. Why do I carry a 45? Because they don't make a 46. It's my dad. My dad used to say that all the time. Yeah, but that's about it. I mean, really, other hobbies. I actually enjoy the video editing thing. This is fun. I like this. This is a hobby for me. I love to read. That's one of my other things. And other things that I'm into, I like a lot of history and documentary stuff. Like I'm really big into watching documentaries, like the old ones. I found a YouTube channel that has like all of the old In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy, hosted by Leonard Nimoy. He was the narrator. In Search Of was a great show, and I used to watch it when I was a kid. It brings back memories of childhood to see that, and so I found that, and I like to watch Ancient Aliens just because it's funny. I got PC or just console. I don't PC game. I just console. It's so much easier. It's just like I don't like. I used to use the keyboard and play, play video games on my computer. So it's just like I can't. I'd much rather use just. I'd rather just use the console. To tell you the truth, and I have a MacBook Pro, so there's not a lot of games that are compatible with Mac anyway. And then the other thing is my computer that I do have, the PC that I have, it's not. I mean, it's old and it's not built for gaming. There's just no way I could do any of it. I just never have gotten back into PC gaming after I bought my first PlayStation. If you like history, logical. I have a channel that I watch. I linked it in the background of my Absolute History. Absolute History. It's a lot of fun. And Time Team. I like that. But I like a lot of the old documentaries that I used to watch when I was a kid. Like I love Wild Kingdom. If you can find the old Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdoms that they used to run, that was like a thing that like you would hear that. The old National Geographic specials, the actual National Geographic specials before they decided they wanted to have a channel and just not actually do anything that they used to do when they was like, you knew that music. And then like Wild America. Wild America is a show that we watched every Saturday on PBS when I was growing up. It was like Saturday nights. It was, I grew up in a country. There was not a lot to do. So after dinner, you watched Wild America with Marty Stauffer, and it was great. Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin's okay, but I always liked the ones that was just only the animals. Like you watch them filming. I didn't want the guy, I didn't need the guy. Like Marty Stauffer would do an intro to a movie or to a thing. He'd talk about the animals, and then he would just film the animals, and then you would have the people. You would just hear him like narrating over top of it. Oh, I was just talking with people about the He-Man thing, and I'm like, why can't you? If you want to throw your woke agenda into things, make your own stuff. You don't have to go and screw up everything we grew up with. I do not know if I'm going to be on Thursday Night Knives or not. I may. I don't know what the topic is. The whole thing is when he does it, that's about the time on days that I'm not doing live feeds in the evening. I'm either filming videos at the time he goes live, or I'm watching I'm doing stuff with my daughter. So days that I'm not filming or doing live feeds in the evenings, which because I'm trying to add in more live feeds, it's just, I still have a family I spend time with, and his schedule just always winds up being, I just never seem to get a chance to watch his stuff because his schedule just is like, it's always, I'm busy when it happens. I'm like, oh, I want to watch that, but I just can't. The subject, do you remember the show Werewolf on Fox in the 80s? In the 80s, I had 3 channels. Well, technically we had more channels than that. So you had 3, 9, and 11. Those were all NBC. Then you had 7 and 8. That was ABC. And then you had channel 5. That was, no, I'm sorry. 7 and 8 were CBS. 5 was ABC. We only had one, and you could only get it every once in a while, depending on weather. And then we had channel 12, which was PBS. So that's what I had. And I had this. Go change the channel, boy. Change it to 12. Marty Stauffer's on. Wild America's coming on. Yeah, PBS, Public Broadcast System. Yes, PBS. Back when PBS actually had good broadcasting, and it was a local PBS station, and they would do their they would do the drive for supporters, because that's how you supported PBS. You gave them money. And so what they would do was they would every time they do a drive to get more donations and do their telethon, they would do one night that was just Doctor Who, like from like 5 p.m. to like midnight, and they would just run these episodes all back to back to back to back to back. Yeah, PBS was the channel with yes, with Bob Ross. And so that was a family thing. Like that Saturday night, we would get together, and my mom would make something for supper, and we'd all eat in the living room and watch Doctor Who. Like we didn't eat in the living room. Like eating in the living room, that was a big no-no, except on Doctor Who night. So Doctor Who night it'd be like every couple months they would do this and do their fundraiser, and they would run this, and they would like in between the episodes, they would talk about the stats, like how much they raised, and then it would go to the next episode. And so these were all the classic Doctor Who's with like Tom Baker, and some of those guys. And they have a classic Doctor Who channel on Pluto TV, which I watch fairly often in here in the garage. So, I mean, some of that old stuff, you just can't beat it. It was great. I haven't watched any of the new Doctor Who's. I have not watched any of them. I gotta turn that light back off. It's wasting electricity. Thanks, Kat. There supposedly is a way for me to turn off that sensor. No one ate in the living room when I was a kid. We always eat at the table. Now, I will say I eat out here a lot, because there's a lot of times that I'm working out here and I'm editing. And so I'll sit here and I'll slide my laptop back and I'll eat here at my workbench. But we don't eat in the living room. We eat at the table. My daughter eats. We all sit down and we eat. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. That was PBS. Yes. I mean, we weren't allowed to eat in the living room either. You didn't watch TV and eat. We didn't have a TV in the kitchen. We had a kitchen, but a dining room. If family came over, we had the big dining room area. We'd put the table out there and put the leaves in and eat at the big table for like Thanksgiving dinner. And then we had the living room and the downstairs bathroom. We had the basement, which where everything was stored. And then you had the bedrooms upstairs. There was no TVs anywhere but the living room. And it wasn't on very often, to tell you the truth. That TV didn't get turned on. TV got turned on when I first came home after school, 4:00 on Channel 9, NBC out of Wheeling, West Virginia. They had the 4:00 movie. And if there was a movie and they would schedule it out, and I would pick, and I was allowed to watch that movie right after school sometimes, but they had a daily movie. And so the big one was they were running, and I still had to get my chores done. And I still had to, I was working on a farm a lot too. And so I still had to get all my stuff done, and I had to do my schoolwork. But there would be times where, okay, they're playing Planet of the Apes. I really wanted to see it, so I got to watch that. But I had to do my schoolwork while I was watching the movie. So, all right, logical. Yeah, my insides feel like they're. This is one of those days where, like, yeah, I'm just gonna be hungry all day because I don't trust putting any food in there. I didn't do much of anything after the bullfrog incident. Oh, you'd have to ask Mick, Casper. You'd have to ask Mick. I had a Strider, a custom Strider, and it was very expensive, and I own this, and I can tell you that some of these expensive knives, why do they cost so much? Because they're worth it. I would not argue the price of this knife with anyone. I just, oh no, my daughter knows that school is how she pays us for her skating. Grades drop, no skating. She's a straight A student pretty much. So I will say there are some knives though that I don't see the price. Like that would be one I would ask you, why do Emerson's cost so much? I don't get it. But guys, it's been an hour and a half. I'm not going to try and tie up my internet too much longer. I do have other things I have to do. I have actually a contract that I've got to work on again. So if you guys would ever so kindly share these videos, not necessarily the live feeds. The live feeds, I think, aren't as good for everyone. This just is fun. This is for me. But the videos that I put up daily, yeah, I would, my daughter has, okay, so Thomas, my daughter, in the entire time she's been in school, has only ever missed, like literally missed, because she just couldn't go to school, I think 3 days of school. She had perfect attendance for the majority of the time. She was actually in physical school. The only time that she missed more than that was she got a personal school plan. We had to go to Washington State for finals. We had to go out of town several times. She had to go to the Netherlands to skate. So those were times that she missed school, but those were excused absences. It's the only time attendance is important. You got to be there to learn. What was that? You're mostly paying for the name for some knives. Now, I will say the quality on this knife, it does justify the price point. And he has lowered his prices a little bit, but I still would still pay what I paid for it. New comments, everyone on your way out. Thank you, Nick. I hope you're doing okay with all this. I know I can't work. You can't work. The whole autoimmune thing is really screwing with people like us. And there's a lot of guys with conditions like mine and Nick's that can't, like this whole thing. They're like, well, if you don't get the vaccine, you're going to have to do this and you can't do that. I'm like, there's a lot of guys like us that we don't qualify. The doctor won't let us get the stick. We can't get the poke. And I'm like trying to figure out how that works. How's that work? So anyway, yeah, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I love you all. Hopefully this stays monetized. I did bring some political stuff up at the end. So you guys take it easy. I'm gonna end this. See you later. Affiliate links are down below. If you guys are looking for sharpening stones, tools, things like that, any of the stuff I use down below, there's a whole list of knives that I recommend, EDC knives. They're down below. Join tab, membership tab, all that stuff's down below. If you guys want to do any of those things, support the channel, I appreciate it. But if you can't, just share the videos. It's every bit as good. I love you guys. Take it easy. Bye. I said bye too soon. There's a whole nother